show coming from the Rek store. With this back in the Mac in the back flow. Let's go, chillin' with raccoons by the back door. Take calls so you can stake more. All I wanna do is making dough, right? But I found this crew and doing alright. We wreck will bitch, ready to fight. So many raccoons ready for the boss life. I might fly high like a kite, right? But always ready for a shite for the right price. Raccoon supply has the right price. Giving you respect if it's likewise. So I'm buying all the mean guys with the clean heart. Read between lies, laser beam through lean eyes. Warrior with clean lies, trash mouth, mean smile, be wise. NFT wise, fuck with these guys. It's the RAC rap from the back lab. 110 of these in my backpack. Crazy rap from the stash app. Rack will take a lead in this haystack. It's the rap from the back lab. 110 of these in my backpack.
Good morning, RAC FM. It's 0700 EST, and what does the O stand for? Oh my God, it's fucking early, and a raccoon is shouting in my ears. That one's for you, Finn. It's Thursday, the 12th of January, 2023, and this is your daily Cosmos Crypto US of A breakfast show with your host, Robo, Mayor of Rockville, and joined by Mr. Shoebox Rain Man himself, Mr. Rarma, Robo and Rarma, aka Stinky in the Brain, fucking coming out of retirement, guys. We are coming out of retirement for this, man. You're all blessed, right?
Well. Find me a better spaces in Cosmos that has an intro like that. Go on, I dare you. You won't find one.
Not many people can, bro. Not many people can. The man's still a legend, yeah?
Old Nixon, champion. Hello. We have Mr. T. How are you doing? I've rugged Robo already. I've already stolen his host rights of bringing in the guest. This is how the show goes.
I was doing the headset.
Hello. Hi, everyone. I'd also brought along a team member, Crypto Scotty. So if he can join.
Yeah, dude.
We down there, Mr. Scotty?
Where is he?
I can bring him up. Not a problem.
He's changed his PFP, has he? Has he changed his PFP? Is that why I couldn't see him? It's a new PFP. I've spoken to Scotty, Mr. T. Yeah, he's a nice guy. We had a good bit of crack. Hello, Scotty. How you doing, bro? You okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm waking up, getting my coffee. It's 4 a.m. over here. So just here for you guys, here for the spaces. I'm going to talk about Ark and going to have a good time with you guys this morning.
Dude, that was mental the last time I spoke to you, because that's obviously the first time we'd spoken, but it was on like the after show, the after party on the Friday. So like it was quite late and we were kind of just shit talking for like quite a while, but it was really good fun. Like I really enjoyed that. Yeah. Good conversation, dude. So it's nice to do it in a more like not formal environment, but in a recorded environment, guys, And just to give you a bit of intro, Rarma and myself, we've been co-hosting spaces together now since like the beginning of March last year. I've been doing them myself since like October, November, after the Juno Genesis block. I did one with Jerry, then I did one in November, so I only did two. Then Rarma and I have been doing them like quite frequently, but we had this little kind of Stinky in the Brain idea a long time ago, guys, and we had like projects on where they're currently in the news, they're currently being talked about, or there's some hype behind them, or maybe like, say, like Loop, where there was FUD behind them, Just try to provide like a platform that's not your standard show, right, guys? We generally have a very quite educated audience. They love to hear about like, the beginning stories or blah, 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 whatever, right? But like our audience generally are quite like a savvy audience. And Rarma and I, we're a good foil for each other. We do play off each other, guys. So yeah, Mr. T and Scotty, first of all, thank you very much for being here, right? That means a lot to us, right? When you said you would come on, and we planned to do a Stinky in the Brain show comeback, we were really excited, right? because it's current. It's exactly what we want to talk about. It's, our fingers are on the pulse, and this is what we need. So, first of all, thank you very, very much for that. What we'd like to do, guys, is if we can, and I'll probably go to Mr. T for the first one. Dude, we'd love to start by just getting this kind of 2-minute elevator pitch, right, to Ark Protocol. Let's say you've got to walk in a VC, you've got 2 minutes, whatever, right? Like, what is Ark Protocol, right? Like, why should we be concerned, right? Like, who's going to be using it? And like, why should we all like pay attention? Why should we all kind of like give a shit? Like, dude, if it's 1 minute, great. If it's 2 minutes, no problem at all. But just like your pure elevator pitch about what is Ark Protocol and why should we care? Is that all right, Mr. T? Yeah.
Yes, that's right. It's pretty simple. NFTs going multi-chain is probably one of the biggest topics all over. And currently we are focusing on Cosmos chains because of the IBC. And IBC, this probably the most known multi-chain utilities is like when you do swaps, swapping Juno into stars, which basically just you transfer Juno over to stars and it's going to be swapped there via osmosis, for example. And Ark Protocol is just like basically about providing multi-chain utilities for NFTs. So the key features, of course, transferring an NFT to any chain at any time, but that is just the start for it, just like for transferring coins. Utilities are built on that one, like swaps and dexes for that one. And we are going to implement and provide multi-chain utilities for NFTs, just like multi-chain launch pads, airdrops, snapshots, all these kind of things. Scott, do you want to add something else?
Oh, it was perfect, man. Yeah, that was absolutely perfect. But Scotty, you got anything to throw in, buddy?
Yeah, I just let me add a few things. It's important. A lot of the knowledgeable people quickly understand the use cases and quickly understand the concept. But for those of you who are more on my level, less techie, and need more kind of more of a breakdown, basically, we're talking about an NFT project that, unlike some that are on multiple chains, this project is going to be one collection. Usually a collection will be minted on multiple chains if the project is multiple chains. So you'll have one mint on say, Stargaze, but then subsequently they would have a mint on maybe Juno. And then those mints would be separate. You can buy into that project either on this chain or that chain. But with Ark Protocol, we're developing utilities, or the devs are developing utilities, and our team are just rock stars, literally, like really smart. But the utility is simple. In terms of how the multi-chain aspect is to be looked at. It's one collection minted on an origin chain, let's say it's minted on Stargaze, but then let's just say you don't want to interact on Stargaze market, or you're more into a different coin, say Juno or Osmosis. So you want that NFT over there because that's where you do most of your interacting anyway. But you just happen to like this one project over here on Stargaze, maybe. You move your NFT over. You can move it to a different chain. That's the concept. And if anybody's wondering why this concept, it's simple. Your NFT project will no longer have to rely on the chain as much as projects do. If a chain fails, the projects all go down with it. In this particular case, if a chain is not performing to your standards, you simply move your NFT to another chain and interact with that chain.
Well, Scotty, the minute you mention utility, right? The minute anyone hears like a utility, it's the holy grail of any kind of NFT-based project, right? It's the golden goose, right? That's what it's a utility. Like, you hear the jokes about like community, where like the only utility a project or whatever's got is the community that's based around it, right? But can I bring you back to something you mentioned there, Scotty, if that's okay? You said you've got a stellar team. And when I heard the word stellar, I mean, that's how I describe our team at Raccoon. I wish he joined us because I was hoping he was going to come in on the tech end as well, but it's a bit early for him, right? You mentioned you're still a team. Now, it's the first time I've come across Mr. T. I love jumping in and making sure I was going to follow him, yeah. But I did see there was some associations with people I know, like Backbone Labs, Skellies. I was just wondering if we could have, like, Scotty, like an overview of the team, right? Where you guys, I know you guys have like come from the Terra community per se, whatever. But are you like amalgamation of like different projects, different NFT projects where the clever devs have come together to create something that's going to be beneficial for the whole chain? Can you give us like a bit of the team? How's that team put together, dude? The core team of Ark.
Well,
So,
go ahead, Mr. T. You got a much better background on everyone.
so the core team comes from really different chains. And of course, many of us are coming from Terra and got hurt by the DPEG. And I'm also a member of the Space Skellies and the Skeleton Punks and the Backbone Labs, but also for the full spend mining on Cadena. We also have Chauncey from Angel Protocol, part of our team. This is also very important for us because our mission is to serve the whole NFT space and fam as such. So all the utilities we are going to provide is going to be available for all NFT collections.
So I might just quickly jump in just on Ark Protocol. So just for the audience, and so I'm super clear, there's Ark Protocol, and it sounds like there's a team of we've got Scotty, Chauncey, Mr. T, are three that I know of. Yes, there's probably some other people. I know that you guys. Yeah, jump in.
Mm-hmm. There's another. We have. So I'm a developer. There are two more developers. One of the developers like Artmix, and here Tatson. He just joined in. That's the other developer. We are really pretty much involved into the ICS 721 implementation. It's an interchain collaboration between Juno, Stargaze, IrisNet, Gravity Bridge. So we are working also very, very close with them together.
And if I could add a little bit on the team, so yes, 3 developers, and I love that you guys brought up utility because I'm like a true degen. I love utility. I definitely got some B Luna from Backbone. I definitely went to their partner Astroport, and I definitely set up the LP with Luna and B Luna because prior to the DPEG, I was very heavy in Luna. I was very much using a lot of the protocols. In the end, I was an Anchor maxi. I really thought Anchor was the most powerful protocol, that everything was based on Anchor in the end because of the UST yield. But here's a team of developers that could easily go out and develop any PFP project or staking project or rating project. There's so many NFT utilities that sometimes work out great, sometimes don't. But here's a team who during the DPEG we all lost it. I mean, we all lost so much money. I lost 6 figures during the DPEG. I thought I was going to retire in a year or two, and here I am, like with 99% loss on my Luna funds still. And here's a team that looked at that and said, "How do we rise?"
I often wonder, Scotty, sorry to interrupt. I often wonder how much that affects people. Like, I often wonder, like, because I haven't been gigarect to that scale. Like, I can, if I lost 6 figures mentally, did that like? I mean, do you feel like you're back from that, or do you feel like you've come back a little bit different? Are you a bit scarred, or are you back like good, or how do you feel?
I mean, in a very general sense, I know I say it jokingly, but it's true. I say we survived the DPEG. You can't hurt us. It was very difficult at first. The first few days, I was a little bit lost. I wasn't like depressed. I didn't have a mental breakdown. The money I have in crypto is money I could afford to lose. I don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars in the real world. In fact, in the real world, I have almost as little as I have in crypto right now. But but the money I put into crypto about almost 3.5, maybe almost 4 years ago was the only money I'd ever put in, and I've never added to it. I've never brought more money into the space. I still interact, buy NFTs, sell NFTs, buy coins and stuff with the monies that I started with, which I'm pretty proud of. But no, it was very difficult. The first week I was kind of like, oh my God, but I never left the space. We have a server that was a support server before the DPEG, and it turned into a mental health server right after. And then slowly we all had to find our way. We all started venturing to other chains. And Mr. T's in the server, and one of our other devs, Art Mix, is in the server. And I knew them from before the DPEG, from before the idea of this project, or if Mr. T had the idea, I had not heard of the idea much. But the point is that here are developers that could very easily go and start a basic project and throw out those buzzwords. They could do all the things that some projects are doing because they want to just have a project going. But here's a team that wants
totally
to offer
correct.
you.
Totally correct, Scotty. No, totally correct. Yeah. Totally correct, right? And that's what brings us up to today. That's what brings us up to today, that conversation we're having. Dude, thank you so much, man. But Rarma and I, it's difficult to get people on the show, dude. When people come on and be honest, we just appreciate it. And that's it. The background is exactly what brings us to where we are today, doesn't it? No? What we're all fighting for, no?
Of course. You said it, and we thank you for having us. This is a nice opportunity for us to talk about what we've been doing here in the space. But again, just going back to that point, I was just summing up. The team wants to offer a utility to the community that benefits the entirety of the community. So from your retail investors and flippers to your teams, developers, and even the chain itself, all stand to benefit from this utility. So that's that was my point. They're here to give something great. This one's a game changer. This one's going to allow us to move around the blockchain more freely.
Well, dude, this is where our little wizard comes in. Rarma, and I know you've been dying to talk to Mr. T. And I believe we do have one of the other devs up as well. I have invited to speak. They might just want to sit in the background. Rarma, where did you want to start? I mean, you've got a basic, because obviously I spoke to Scotty the other week, and he talked about the anchor, that kind of NFT anchor that will always remain on the original minting chain and stuff. By the way, guys, can I just say this to Mr. T, to Scotty, to Ark Protocol, to you guys, right? Yesterday, that reply with that tweet with that hand-drawn little bit, dude. I had people DMing me are they serious? And I just, dude, some people I didn't even reply to. We were just laughing our head off. All the OGs are just laughing. Rarma, you understand the mechanics, don't you? You're better than me. I mean, you've been at ICS 721s and snipped 721s since the prop, so what's going on.
Sorry, I'm just getting some popcorn sorted out here while I was listening in. So I don't know if I quite got the answer to the question. So Ark Protocol, is this just another name for inter-NFT or interchain NFT?
Ark Protocol is we are providing multi-chain utilities. This is the core contract is ICS 721. And based on this one, we are going to implement multi-chain utilities. For example, having a multi-chain launchpad, which allows each collection to launch a collection on multiple chains so that it can be minted on as many chains as you want.
Okay, so
that's one example.
You're building a team that will leverage into NFTs and building marketplaces, launch pads, etc., on top of that. This isn't any way affiliated or associated with the actual inter NFT worker group or anything like that.
No. So we are contributing to the ICS 721 contract, to the development, and also advising, helping the organizers of the game of NFTs as well. But our goal is really to provide and build really I say IBC depths based on ICS 721, just like IBC depths is based on ICS 20. So it's very technical, just like swaps. You all know that. That is really based on ICS 20, for example. And we are providing other multi-chain utilities for NFTs.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I just really wanted to make sure that we understood like Ark Protocol, what you're planning on building. It's probably potentially a bit hard to explain some of that stuff in the short term. But I think that gives us a pretty good understanding. I did note that you said you're helping out with the organizers of Prop 94 game of NFTs.
Yes.
So are you taking part in some of that testing? Or are you helping organize all of the different test cases and coordinating the testers and that sort of stuff? So you're pretty intricately involved in that? Because I thought I heard you talking about that with Mayor the other day.
Yeah, it even started earlier before the gaming of NFT and NFTs started because we jumped into the ICS 721 and said, okay, that's what we are going to need. That's what every community is going to need in the Cosmos space, and we started testing that one. And I wrote some tests and then did some pull requests and then Seek from June on Stargaze accepted that integrated these kind of tests into their ICS 721 contracts, and then Stargaze got contacted by Gravity Bridge by IrisNet. They said, okay, we are done so far with the implementation. We need to test that, and they looped us in Stargaze with them, supporting them on testing because we started implementing utilities and we did our own tests and we provided them all these kind of tests to them for testing their implementation.
Yeah, okay. So in terms of just to probably touch on Prop 94 a little bit, you're pretty intricately involved in the game of NFTs, the proposal and the members and that sort of stuff. You've spoken to most of them before, given that you're going to be involved in it.
The organizers like IrisNet and Stargazers are driving this proposal. I just realized, okay, we need to get a lot more attention on that one because it's that important. And I contacted some other chains and protocol and asked them, hey, would you guys be interested? I can connect you with the organizers. So I'm really trying to support them. Because
yeah. So which organizers do you know that's from Game of NFTs?
It's going to be organized. Oh, my phone is just get stuck. It's Stargaze. Stargaze, who's implementing the contract with a developer from Juno. It's IrisNet. IrisNet did the actual, did the specification, and they did also implement the SDK module, the NFT module. So there will be two solutions, how to transfer NFTs to other chains via contract and via module. And there's also Omniflix, Uptick, and Gravity Bridge. Yeah. And I tried to get in touch with other chains as well to get onboarded.
Okay.
But these are the main organizers.
Yeah. So you know Shane, and that's how you got involved in Game of NFTs and trying to raise more attention to it through Shane?
Yes.
Okay. You mentioned Juno.
Through Shane and
Shane.
Human Algorithm.
And who, sorry?
Shane and Human Algorithm. These are our two key contacts on Stargaze side.
Oh, right. Yep. Okay. And the Juno dev, who was that? I saw you mention Juno.
Zeke.
Oh, Zeke. Yeah.
Cool.
Dao.
Zeke.
Yeah.
Dao. Correct.
Yeah. The man behind the man from Dao. Okay, cool.
Exactly. And he did the key implementation. Just a quick note on that one. The ICS 721 has passed and by 110%. So Oak Security couldn't find any single line of code they could complain about. So we completely aced, and this is due to the work of Zeke's work, completely aced the audit.
Oh, nice. So, just quickly, how long have you been involved with like building out or developing on ICS 721 and into NFT?
I don't know, last year. So I started really just to give you some backgrounds, like when the deep pack started May 9th, and that was really heavy shit for me. I got like pretty hard, and but after a few days I realized, okay, we need to go multi-chain. So 3 days later, on May 12th, I started with Ark Protocol and started looking out for solutions how my NFTs can go multi-chain, and it started pretty soon. Then we figured, okay, it's going to be ICS 721. I got in touch. I went to the Discord channel. I think it was on Gravity Bridge, where this Discord channel is, and then started looking into that one, testing that, and so very early, I would say.
Coming from Terra, Mr. T, have you received? Coming from Terra, I'm just wondering, have you received any pushback at all or anything from people like ICF or the main validators or anything? Has there been any pushback against this since the proposal went on chain?
No, not at all. So all the work we have done so far is completely 100% on our own expense. I've been working that since last year, since 6-8 months, full time on my own expense, 100% really, and without any funds, without any grants. So this is also the game of NFT is very important for us to get some more awareness and maybe really to win one prize and so that we can continue building and provide these utilities for the NFT space.
I only asked because I know, guys, obviously anything to do with kind of like Cosmos and governance, we all know, we've been there time and time again, and we've seen like the last minute change of votes, and we're all like very aware of governance, but it's also like kind of a lot of people to get these kind of proposals passed need like full ICF support. Or I've been led. Is that right, Rarma? A lot of these kinds of proposals of this amount or whatever need ICF backing. Is that right, Rarma? Or am I wrong?
Well, they generally come from teams that have worked with the ICF to develop it as a public good. So this one kind of coming essentially direct from Iris is probably a little bit different, but yeah, which is kind of why I've got a few questions around it in terms of the committee, the multi-sig, and that sort of stuff, because there's a few names on there that I recognize from the community, but then in terms of the board of judges, but the multi-sig committee, I might not know the bridge engineer from Stargaze, but the other two people, I've never heard of them, and being a 2 of 3 multi-sig seems rather odd for a community spend. So that's kind of the main thing for me is, normally...
a community spend of $250,000 though. I mean, it's a community spend of $250,000. It's not like chicken feed, it's $250,000, so it's quite a big ask, yeah?
Yeah, and it's phase 1 of 2, right? So one thing I noticed from the proposal is there's 2 phases. Phase 1 is a public incentivized testnet. Maybe you might be a bit across this, Mr. T, or even Scotty. The public incentivized testnet, is this where there's going to be like there'll be multiple production-like instances that are, IBC connected, and there's some, dummy NFTs of, cats and whales and raccoons and ice creams and all sorts of things that you can transfer cross-chain. And essentially, you're just testing out the functionality, making sure and it's all good, trying to break it, running through test plans.
Exactly. This is what this is all about. This is going to be a public massive test. Everybody can participate. And maybe a quick note on about the organizers. These are the key organizers. But what I have not mentioned is just like the key driver behind that is the Interchain Foundation. The Interchain Foundation is basically driving that all, and also the proposal. They are not very active and public on Twitter, but they are the ones who's driving that.
Yeah, okay. So I guess that's good to know that the ICF's kind of driving it. It's just, yeah, I think this one's probably just a little bit different because it's not really necessarily related to the hub so much, right? Like it's related to all of the NFT related chains or CosmWasm type chains that will use it, and the hub simply won't. Neutron and consumer chains and stuff like that will. So it might be just a little bit different, which is fine. I guess for me, kind of 200,000 or 250,000 for people to get in and test it seems a bit extreme. Is there any, like, can you provide some kind of guidance on how that kind of spend is justified with people just getting in and testing it out? Like 100,000, it's approximately 100,000 for participants to complete public testnet tasks with a set point system that's allocated based on their scores. These tasks and the point systems will be published on the launch of the testnet. Do you have details on exactly what that is?
No, what I can imagine is like, okay, so it's about collection and NFT transfer. There must be then tasks that somehow you create a collection and transfer it over to multiple chains, and on testnet, and the chains is going to provide it by IrisNet and Stargaze and the other ones. So there will be 3-4 chains that where you are going to need to transfer them. Yeah. And there will be some. They are splitting that up into some different prices. It's not decided yet what kind of different prices it's going to be, and yeah.
Yeah, I understand you may not be across all the details, and don't take this as me like directing these questions directly to you, right? I'm kind of.
But
no one
Rarma, is it
to discuss it, and you seem to be kind of involved a bit, so it's good to understand
Rarma
who can do this.
Wait a minute, Rarma.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dude, is it a public test net or not? Is it a public test net, or is it only developers that are able to participate because of like having to use the command line interface and stuff? Like, can Joe Public like take part quite easily?
You definitely need technical knowledge because there's no user interface. I mean, it's all brand new on ICS 721, but it's similar to all other events like the Game of Chains, and it sounds like a lot requesting toward 20,000 Atom, but it's the other events was requesting the same amount for the public testnet. Yeah, and yes, I guess it will end up. You have to use the command line interface. Yeah. What I was planning about is like I will start writing some documentation about how to install the CLI for Stargaze, for IrisNet and Uptick. I need to look into Uptick because I've never installed that one, and we have our templates for testing transfers because we have implemented for our Genesis collection that one. So we will provide documentation to everyone so that each participant know what tools are needed and what commands are required. So just like how to transfer, how to check out what's the contract that is on the other chain. If you look up on our Discord and the channel, we got approached a couple of times from other projects because they are looking into ICS, and we are very, very open on that one and supporting them, and that's the reason why we created this channel, so to provide all this kind of info to all.
But Mr. T, sorry, dude, to stop you. That's the most amount of words I've ever heard in a definition of public testnet before. I mean, if you just take the word that's on, I mean, incentivized public testnet. Like, if you go and look at the prop, right, and you take those words, incentivized public testnet, right, then you take that explanation that we just said. The kind of two of them don't match up a little bit. Before we bring Scotty and yourself in, Rarma, do you want to add to that a little bit before we touch on some other things?
Yeah, like kind of, I know you didn't necessarily propose this, but it very much comes across to me as a way for developers to get funded to use what's being built and run through some tests. And I understand like this stuff needs to be tested, but like $100,000 just to run some IBC transactions and spin up some, some Osmosis D, some, Stargaze D or whatever it is. It seems rather excessive. The second part around like bonuses for participants, identifying bugs, performance improvement, developing new tools, that stuff, 100%. Like, yeah, $100,000 for that. Like, if you're going to develop shit and we're going to get like bug fixes or identifying bugs that need to be fixed, no problem there. There's tangible outcomes and things we can use for interchain NFTs from that part of it. The first part to me just seems like, hey, we want to pay people to get in and run some nodes and run some IBC transactions. That's how I see it. And if I'm just being,
I'm not the wrong person for that one. I can only answered it for myself. It's like we have invested a lot into that one without any funds and grants. I know Seek, as a Juno and Stargaze has invested into that a lot, implementing the one, and IrisNet. So and these are the ones that are not getting any money for this incentivized testnet. It's for the participants, and also phase 2, the hackathon. It's a great chance for every project to suppose an idea provide utilities based on ICS 721, and this is going to be another 200,000. It looks like it's going to be funded by Interchain itself. Yeah.
All the different chains, right? I think there was a list of
Stargaze, Juno, Iris.
Various support from Cosmos projects, Iris, Stargaze, Juno. One thing I did notice here, Mr. T, and we did mention this briefly before around, you coming from Terra. I noticed Terra is not mentioned in this at all. And Terra has probably the largest, or it had the largest NFT community or communities outside of Ethereum. They're not mentioned in this one time. Do you have any idea?
And they've got huge community pools. And they've got huge community pools as well. Not just
pools,
the NFT, like community.
Active community members, collections, all of it. Do you have any idea why Terra is not mentioned in this one time? Can they be participants in the public testnet, etc.?
Yes. Okay. What can I tell? So the last couple of weeks, I was trying to get Terra into that as well, and was quite a lonely fight on both sides. I'm honestly. So I went to Terra. I was talking with TFL and said, "Hey guys, this ICS 721 it's really important for the NFT community, and it would be fantastic if you could join the game of NFTs." And co-organize that one. Official message was just like, we are generally not participating to any of these kind of events. And the other, so what can I do?
Okay, so I might jump in here quickly, Robo, because I can read between the lines and say things that Mr. T probably can't. So
okay, good. Then I've got a question. Then I've got a question from Cosmos Joe. Coming up after you're finished. Okay, go on.
So I'll just finish off.
Tell us.
I'll just finish off on the Terra thing. So it sounds like you were interested in, and if I say something incorrectly, Mr. T, jump in and stop me. I'm not going to say something that you didn't do. Sounds like you approached Terra. Hey, this is coming. We would like to have you on board. Relayed the message to the other side of the fence, and I'm going to say the other side of the fence was more than likely members of ICF and the rest of the board who is running game of NFTs. and the message back was probably not overly reciprocal of terror being included. And you don't have to answer,
Correct.
but if you would like to answer, you can. Just
Yes, being mindful that's correct. So, on both sides, I was trying to really connect both. So interchain and Terra, and say, okay, we all from Cosmos Space, it's important because the focus should be on the NFT community, not which chains should be part of it or not part of it, or should join or don't want to join. That's it's kind of sad, but I was trying to connect both, and was approaching a lot of projects like with Terra, Interchain, IrisNet, TFM, Orbital Command.
Oh, TFM said today.
Yeah. Did you
TFM said
sorry,
today.
Just very quickly, Mr. T, did you touch base with Loop Ventures or Loop Marketplace at all?
Which who?
They're an ex Terra project who are now on Juno. Don't mind the laughter. It's been a journey. No. It's been a journey.
No, I'm sorry for that one, but no.
Dude, if you don't know who Loop are, you're a lucky one. You're the lucky one.
There's laugh reacts in the chat. They're not laughing at you. They're laughing at my bringing up of Loop and you not knowing who they are. It's a sad but funny situation that we find ourselves on Juno. So it's not a you thing. It's a Loop thing. Is what I'll say.
I once had a meeting with Loop, the CEO, and it was about another topic. It was about ICS 721, but it was not about the game of NFTs.
Okay, so you didn't know that they have an NFT marketplace on Juno?
I do know, of course.
Oh, all right. You just didn't talk to them about game of NFTs. Okay.
So, Rarma, we haven't got that long.
Yeah,
we haven't got that long.
Joe's question. So moving on.
Yeah, well, I believe you might have had some like historical questions about ICS or the idea of ICS 721. Historical?
Yeah.
Right, okay, well, give us a minute then. Give us a minute then. Let's go, Joe, then let's go back to you. Let's freshen up the room. We've probably got a few listeners, right? Let's freshen the place up. We always add the fluff. Joe. Now, guys, you know what Joe's like. He's a bad-tempered bastard at the best of times. It's that Italian blood, man. That you can't get that Mediterranean blood out of someone once it's in there. So Joe's just wants to ask a nice question, right? He says, I'm a hard no on Prop 94. Okay, Joe, we get that. Why don't these guys, he's talking to you too, obviously, why don't these guys build out and test the protocol themselves and monetize it rather than smash the hub community pool? Joe, you could have done better, mind, with the word smash, mind. That could have been better, Joe. But we'll give you a pass. Why don't they monetize it rather than apply to the community pool for 240k USD, effectively? Then he goes on to say, if they monetize it properly, and the protocol is actually going to bring volume to Cosmos, they will make tens of millions of dollars in the long haul. Well, I don't know if I should read that next sentence, Joe. I'm going to skip that next sentence. Okay. Sorry. Okay, I'll go with the next one. And the fairy tale that is this implementation will bring volume to Cosmosis. Is that wait? All right. Okay. I'm not going to read the rest of it, Joe. So basically, guys, he's saying, why don't you do it yourself and monetize it? That's pretty much his question, I think.
On the why don't we do it ourselves? We need it stress tested. The community
and monetize. Yeah. Why don't you do it yourself and monetize? And I might go one step further, dude, Scotty, because there have been several devs that have been talking to us over the last couple of days We did reach out to people and we did ask for any quotes or comments if people wanted to make them, and we were going to bring them up, but pretty much no one does. One thing that was mentioned is like, why aren't people testing in prod? I think, right, Rarma, bring it in now. This is the time, the philosophical question. We've talked about this, Rarma, on Discord at length. Come on. This philosophical question about incentivized test nets, whether that's closed or public, whatever, versus Rarma, come on. You're going to take over here. Why shouldn't they be testing in production, Rarma?
Yeah, so I think the game of chains thing for me historically has been things that have been critical to the hub, essentially, right? Or part of the hub's vision. So, Game of Chains. There was the recent one. Game of mind blank now when I need to talk about it. Anyway, the previous game ofs were very directly related to the hub. Game of NFTs outside of consumer chains essentially has nothing to do with the hub. It's not going to get an NFT module. It's not going to happen. The NFTs may need to transact through the hub at some point, maybe. But really, like, is this not something that we can deploy and then test in prod? And if the reason is people could lose their NFTs, can't we do it and then tell people that it's not a version 1? Like Cosmwasm was deployed not being a version 1, and it's been iterated upon, and it's had issues and they've been improved. Literally took the Juno chain down multiple times. Okay,
I'm just reading the tweet that Cosmos has sent about the proposal 94, and with a hard no, because the Joe community cannot participate in the public testnet. This is wrong. Everybody can join the public testnet, and they are trying to get as many participants into the testnet as well. So this is important. Yeah. And it's also it's not correct that proposers are funding 200K for themselves, because the proposal it's Stargaze, IrisNet. They're using these funds, and it's going to be rewarded by the participants, but it's not rewarded to themselves, to Stargaze, who invested a lot into them.
The problem is, Mr. C, the problem is who's the participant. The problem is who's the participant. That's the question. We can talk about it. Well, I don't know, but with $250,000 in funding, and if half goes to the team for like hosting, development, etc., which, and half's for incentivization, whatever, yeah. Who are the people who are getting incentivized? We had a guy reach out to us the other day from quite a big project. Of actually several projects under one umbrella, and they were like quite concerned, saying like, wait a minute, who are these participants of the public testnet? That seems to be the question, Rarma.
Everybody will be able to participate. So what I know from the organized, like they will release a form starting in February, before the game of NFT starts, and you can fill out for the form, and everybody who's applying for that one, they can participate. So basically everybody.
So is the intention that if you know how to use CLI, you can jump in and you can test moving an NFT? Exactly. From one chain to another. And will there be like wallet interfaces that you can verify the NFT has been moved, or is it just like
I can't use CLI?
Check your wallet.
I can't use CLI.
Yeah, like so. Will there be wallet interfaces that you can check, and like interfaces you can check the NFT transfer, or is it just you do a check balance on the destination chain and you can see that there's like one NFT there?
So it's, as I say, nobody has provided some UIs for that one. You can check. Yeah, you can check that with the CLI. You transfer it over with ICS 721 from one chain to the other chain, and you can check and whether it's there. Of course.
Bro, I know I'm a bit of a player. Like my career and what I do and everything, like crypto's part time. I can't use CLI. Like I'm gonna have to get Rarma to teach me to be able to take part. That's all I'm saying.
Sorry,
Dude.
there's a saying, Robo, and you own a dog, so you'll know it. I'm not going to repeat it live on a recorded spaces, but that won't happen. I won't teach you. Promise.
Is that my fault? 'Cause I don't know, say a lie. Is that my fault? I can't take fucking part in something where like $250,000 of funds are going to something I can't take part in, and I'm an atom staker. Does that sound right to you? Because fair play, whatever you tech heads, I don't know, Rarma, up to you.
Yeah, so I think and this isn't directed towards you, Mr. T, right? Like these aren't things that we're targeting towards you. You happen to be here answering questions for us, which is great, and we're very thankful. These are questions that we have for Game of NFT, just to be very clear, okay? We're not having a go at you, we're having a go at proposers and the organizers and such, and the request for funding. We all do want and understand what Inter-NFT and Interchain NFT is going to do and bring. Full support of that. What we're questioning is like the way in which the funding occurs and who receives it and who can participate is the questions that we're that will be directed towards proposers.
But I can that one, so everybody can participate. And the other thing that you're raising is just like how important from a Cosmos Hub perspective, how important that is NFT space and NFTs going multi-chain for the Cosmos Hub. I can't answer that by myself, but since the Interchain is having the lead on that one, and where the Interchain is really one of the key players in the Cosmos Hub and on IBZ and many others, I think if they support it and they're going to propose that, then this is for me, it's a clear answer where they even say it's important for all Cosmos chains, and they are going to fund it with from the Cosmos Hub.
On that point, Rarma, what's this historical stuff, dude? From like, I mean, there's been this interchain NFT stuff going back to what, 2021, early 2021. Rarma, what's the stuff with Iris and 2020?
Yeah, late
right.
2020.
There's already been props. We know about persistence and asset mantle, and give us some background to that, Rarma, please.
Take a few steps back, and Mr. T, you might be aware of this, you might not. So Inter NFT has been spec'd out for a very long time from the Interchain Foundation. They provided a grant to Persistence, I think it was in late 2020, to form the Inter NFT working group. Do you know about that?
No.
Nope. Okay, no, that's cool. Not these aren't like things that I'm targeting towards you. I'm just saying this is how far it goes back. So they funded them to work on Inter NFT and Interchain NFT, form the worker group, and the website's still there, internft.org. They've got like some meeting details and group details, members, interesting things in there. You can see like the core ICF Cosmos, and there's some familiar names in there. Persistence, familiar names who are now on other projects. IXO, and then public, there's people, there's Jack Zamplin from Akash Network, which is an interesting one to throw in there. Iris Network, so Jeffrey Hu.
What?
Yeah, public. It's listed. This is on the Inter NFT doc on the website. Under group details.
Jack for
Akash Network, Jack Zamplin. Yeah, funny. Iris Network, Jeffrey Hu. And then, which is the interesting name. There's also Region Network, which is so Gregory from Region. Iris Network, Jeffrey Hu, which is they're on the current proposal as the tech lead for Hashkey Capital, and he's a multi-sig committee member. So I'm assuming ex Iris or potentially still Iris, but that's how far it goes back. And these people have been working on it since 2020, and we're almost ready to have a testnet for it in 2023.
Yeah, an incentivized testnet that only like people can use for CLI, that like plebs like me haven't got a clue. So like, I mean, this is probably going to take another space with other people who are involved, like not just these two guys. Whoever's behind the entire prop needs to get up on stage, whether it's what is it, Hashkey Capital, or whoever's in, was it Guys, can we ask about this? These capital guys, these VC guys. Can you shed any light on the VCs you've got going on, or what, on the multi-sigs and that? Rarma, do you want to preface, or do you want to give that some more context?
I was just going to see if Mr. T has spoken to any of the, like Jeffrey Hu and stuff from the board of judges.
Jeff, never heard of that name. I'm sorry.
Oh, really? Okay. These are
okay.
people that are listed on the board of judges from the proposal. That's all. So you will probably get to meet them over the testnet, which will be interesting. But yeah, there's a lot of history with this stuff. If you kind of go back through into NFT, and it was apparently being developed by Asset Mantle team, about 6 or so months ago when we spoke to them. And now it's finally being finished and built through Iris Network. So, which is, it seems like it's potentially passed the number of hands over the years. We do see there, Ghazni.
Wait a minute. Does that Ghazni? The idea is Ghazni. The idea is, dude, we're not to bring people up to have like an open forum. That's what the other shows are for. I just want to
just quickly.
So Rarma, seems like you went down a rabbit hole.
Just very quickly.
Sounds like you went down a rabbit hole.
We will give people an opportunity to come up towards the end. You can come up, Ghazni. We'll bring you up. All right.
So this is like a 3-year rabbit hole, is it? Is that what you're saying? Like a 3-year rabbit hole of interchain NFTs, no? And it's been passed from one place to another place to another place to another place. Is that what I'm picking up on there with that vibe? There's been several people of several different companies involved.
Well, yeah, and I think, to be clear, this isn't the Ark Protocol guys, but it's just dating back how long interchain NFTs has been discussed and thought of through the interchain worker group for NFTs.
Right, and there's been proposals passed though for these things you're talking about that have been granted community funding from over the years, right?
No,
obviously some of them
grants,
got funding.
Difference grants through ICF.
ICF grants, right? Okay. Do you know how much totaling what amount or what production we've had? Or?
I think the worker group stand up was like 80K or 100K or something like that. ICF stopped doing financial reports sometime early last year. So no one knows who and how much and where money's gone since like 2021 or something like that. Sorry.
Why doesn't that surprise?
Yeah, I think it's 2021.
Why doesn't that surprise me? Why doesn't that surprise me?
So
here we go again.
That's all right. It's we'll get it sorted. But
Rarma, wait a minute. Just to establish, though, I think Ark need to know that, like, guys, we're always willing to give like people a free pass. We're saying like loads of stuff's like happened before, but this Prop 94, probably especially after the day, is going to be like, I think there's going to be probably a few more spaces or tweet threads from people. I don't know. There seems to be we're only just like skimmed the surface, Rarma. Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and it's definitely not like on Scotty and Mr. T to sit here and listen to us badger on about the development of Inter NFT and stuff. I think it'd be nice to get some other people to talk to, potentially from the board, who are much more across it and discuss it in detail. It'd be good to get some.
Can these guys hook us up? Can these guys hook us up to other people or what? I don't know if they can.
Maybe. I'm not sure if Shane from Stars would want to talk to you, though, Robo. That's the only problem. Might be.
He would. I messaged him. He would. Don't worry about that. He will.
He's a board of judges.
Okay. When does it end? Did it go up on the 6th? Did it go up on the Prop 94 went up on the 6th of January, was it?
It does. We have
so it'll be up on
7
the 20th. Yeah, of course. Plenty of time. If these guys can hook us up with a few of them, we've got plenty of time. We'll hook another one up, but it's going to be now hotly debated about many, many things, and there's a lot of information that's come out tonight that people weren't aware of. There's a lot to do with the historical funding, with oh my God, wait a minute, dude, Rarma. Look, we've not been bringing up speakers all night, and look who's come. Oh my goodness, we have royalty, guys. We have the boss. We have HR. If you guys, I don't know how long you've got, Mr. T or Scotty, but if you've got a couple of minutes to speak to our boss, you've heard from us tonight, but HR has just come in Rarma, do you want to bring HR in? He might have some question about interchain NFTs, guys. He's our dev, you know.
I have a question while we wait for him
Yeah,
to come up.
we'd be happy to talk to him. Sorry.
So interchain NFTs, and this will lead us into the boss coming in, or HR as we like to call him, coming in. Into NFTs, I did notice that you mentioned, again, coming back to the chains that are going to be involved and looking to help fund the hackathon, which I fully support. Hackathon's good. Try and break it or make it better. There was Iris, Stargaze, Juno. We mentioned Terra. I won't bring that up again. What about Secret? Do we have any SNP 721s?
He mentioned that, Scotty. Scotty mentioned that we're looking at Secret the last time I spoke to him.
Yeah, Secret is one of the many IBC chains that are on the list. Obviously, any chains that use the ICS 721 standard are on the list first because it will be easier to develop. But then, obviously, the plan is to venture outward into all chains. So. Of course, I'm not on the developer team, so I don't know exactly in what order they're going to choose how to get to each chain. But that's going to open the door so that any creator can choose where they want to originate and how many chains they want to support with their project, so that it's really up to each project to decide in the end what they want to do, and we just want to open the door for them to do so. And so, I mean, with the NFT games, you guys really got me a lot of info there and a lot to think about. I didn't know the history or the backstory of how everything's being done. But from my view, I mean, incentivized testnet just makes sense. If you're asking people to come and do something and you're not giving them some kind of an incentive, it's hard to get them to respond usually. In my opinion. So I really like this idea. This will be the first one for me. I have not participated in this before, but definitely looking forward to it, and would love to see if we can't get involved in everything that's Cosmos based, just to spread the word and help the community. I mean, understand that we're on the same side as you guys. We're part of the community. We're not on the dev teams for these chains. We're not. We don't have any kind of contracts with these chains. We're developing for the community, and that's not to say the chains don't show interest in our project. But Mr. T is very adamant about making sure that this project belongs, more for the benefit of the community, and less just to give some big chain the right to kind of buy in or take over, how they would always want to if they see something they like. So, for me, this is an exciting thing, and you guys have given me a lot of info to go and check out as well, though. So I thank you for that.
The last time I spoke to you, buddy, I don't know if we circled back on this one again, but I think I might have mentioned it to Rarma. Rarma, did I ask you about what happens with the anchored, if we call it an anchored or harbored NFT to the original minting chain? I asked you about, there must be some kind of vault, because it's not a burning mint.
Yeah, just
Rarma, right?
Let me have a quick. I think I have a picture here from Mr.
Right.
T.
From the guy.
Yep, from Mr. T.
Yes.
I see here there's a little stick figure. Thank you for drawing my figure accurately. I have no torso. They're minting, and then they create a CW 720 in a CW 721 contract. I'm assuming that there's the NFT. There's NFT storage in a big barrel, and then there's
Is it multi-sig? Is it multi-sig, or is it the admin keys burnt to the vault, or what?
Surely it's no admin key, right?
No, the admin key be burnt for the vault, surely. Well, once it's set up, you're not going to have to access the vault again, are you? Unless you were to upgrade the whole entire thing, no? What happens with that vault? Because there's going to be, if you start on 4 L1s, there's going to be 4 different vaults, right? So who controls the vaults, the releasing of things, etc.? Is it just purely smart contract based? Is it a multi-sig? What happens there?
I would suggest it's probably similar to like, and 360 will probably be laughing his head off. Similar to like the NIDA type contract where there is no admin, so no one can control it once it's deployed. The only thing you could potentially do,
so the admin keys get burned, yeah,
would be,
that's right, isn't it? The admin keys get burned.
Sure, let's use that terminology because I know you won't stop unless I agree with you.
Oh, shut up, man. I thought that's what it was. I thought that's when you can't touch something. I might be wrong, but I thought that. Sorry.
So it essentially, the only way you could potentially ever do it would be like through governance, through a software upgrade, to touch it and play with it. But my assumption is that you have a vault, you mint the NFT on that chain, and then when you transfer it from one chain to another, it goes into the vault. You then mint a new NFT on the new chain through like an IBC transaction, and jump in anytime, gents, because you'll be more across this than I am. And say I go from Stargaze, I chuck it into the vault, it mints a new one on Juno, and then awesome, I've got my fantastic NFT on Juno. I have a copy in Stargaze, I have mine on Juno. Say I then want to transfer that from Juno to Secret. Chuck it in the Juno vault, mint another one on Secret, and now I've got one on Stargaze, one on Juno, and my freshly minted NFT in my Secret wallet.
Well, actually, let me interrupt you there.
Yeah, go for it.
So, and my devs will correct me, or the devs will correct me if I'm wrong, but if you start on Stargaze and you move it to Juno, yes, it does lock it on Stargaze, and then it will mint it on Juno, and what'll happen on Juno is that all the metadata and everything will exist, so that it will be recognized NFT if you were, say, to go to the Juno market, so long as the creator worked with that market and made sure that they get listed. But then if you were to go from Juno, say, to Osmosis, my understanding from the explanation from the devs is it won't go directly from Juno to Osmosis. It will first go back to its origin chain and then deploy out to Osmosis. So it would go back to Stargaze, and all this would happen behind the scenes, of course. This is not like you would have to do anything.
Yeah, so that's to stop you from going like, which was going to be the next thing that I talked about was, say I go, Stars, Juno, Secret, back to Stars. I've got a lonely old lost vaulted NFT in Juno, unless you were to access the vault. That's not right. So it's just one hop, and then you burn from the vault, grab the original next hop back to the new destination chain.
Yes, that's correct.
Yep. Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. T. Give a better explanation if you want.
Because this is really important, not to split up a collection by its nature of ICS. So it's just like if you transfer from the same collection, if you have two NFTs and you can have the ICS contract twice on both chains. So basically it's two different channels. So you can transfer from Stargaze to Juno NFT A through one ICS channel and the other NFT through the other ICS channel, both to Juno. It will end up into two different collections, so it's going to be split up. So this what we are going to make sure is that it always exists as one single collection on each chain. By doing that, it's conceptually what we do is just like we define the home chain. So for each collection, you define where is your home chain. So it always need to jump back. It starts already with the launch, with the mint. So if the home chain is on Stargaze and you mint it on Juno, it first gets it minted on Stargaze and then transferred over to Juno, always. And later on, if no matter what chain the NFT is transferred over, for example, it's on Juno and you transfer it over to Osmosis, it needs to go back first home to the home chain. In this case, Stargaze, for example, and then it transfers over to Osmosis. This is a simple technique, and so to guarantee it's one logical collection and not split up.
And then, if I could just add a little bit to that, what's really neat is that this opens the door to utilities that allow for a project to do a snapshot, even though the NFTs are not even all on the same chain. At the time of the snapshot, because there's an origin chain, the the Ark utilities will allow you to do the snapshot, see all the NFTs, and even airdrop to them on the respective chain that the person is sitting on. So if you minted on a Stargaze, but you want to interact in Juno, so you moved your NFT over to Juno, when you get the airdrop, it can be sent directly to your Juno wallet. So all that stuff is covered.
That's awesome. Robo, we've got 𝕊ecret of RektCity and Ghazni here. Would you like to, do you think we're ready to bring up some guests? I'm all out of questions for these fine gentlemen.
Dude, I was as well, something, I was just DMing Soy as well. I was like, right, we're going to bring in guests now. So I was like getting ready. So guys, let me get you guys in. 1 second. Right, okay.
Too
Ghazni,
slow, old man.
Ghazni, you're in. Guys, you're in, yeah. Ghazni, have you got a question for anyone? You're up, Ghazni. Don't ghost us, bro.
Yeah,
straight on mute. Hello?
Yeah. So I joined a little bit late, so please excuse me if this is repetitive. So the way I understand this proposal is that the chain of interchain NFTs will take in two phases, right? First will be a public incentivized testnet where everyone can participate from public, and second one will be a hackathon. And this 20,000 atom is being asked only for the public incentivized testnet, right? The second part is going to be funded by other chains, and how much is not decided yet. Am I right in this assumption?
The plan was for 200,000 for the hackathon portion, which is phase 2. But yes, you're right.
For hackathon, $200,000 or what?
As well, yeah, 200,000 USD in total across the chains that are going to be requested from.
Okay, so after the hackathon, let's say there are 5 projects which are being built. So Cosmos Hub doesn't have CosmWasm, right? So most likely these projects will be built on, let's say, Stargaze, who have CosmWasm. So what's in it for the Cosmos Hub to fund this effort?
I'm not sure whether I understand the question. It was partially interrupted. Is the question, say that again? You are talking about phase 2, the hackathon, correct?
Yeah. So Cosmos Hub is funding $200,000.
No.
And
okay. I'm not sure. What I heard about this is like it's going to be funded by the Interchain Foundation, by the ICF. But I can't answer that 100%.
So why are we asking for community funds if it's going to be funded by ICF?
No, phase 1 is going to be community funded.
Phase 2 is going to be funded by ICF.
As far as that, I've heard this is the plan, yes.
So Cosmos Hub doesn't even have CosmWasm. Even if the some projects are being built on this second phase of hackathon, they are not going to be deployed on Cosmos Hub, right? So why is the Cosmos community or the Atom community funding this initiative instead of NFT platforms like, let's say, Stargaze, or maybe Osmosis can also go for NFTs in the future? So why are they not funding it and instead Atom community is funding it?
Rarma, maybe can you answer how Interchain Foundation is related to Cosmos Hub?
Yeah, Ghazni's well informed. He's across it. So this is where I see that and I don't want to harp on about this too much because I've spoken about it a lot before. ICF, Swiss non-for-profit foundation mandate to fund open source public goods for the ecosystem at large. That's great. ICF should go and do its thing, be much more transparent about its grants and funding, so then we can actually be aware of who's being funded, what they're being funded for. Things like interchain NFTs, great. We all want it. We love it. Should Iris or whoever's controlling the public incentivized testnet, should that be an Atom community fund spending proposal? Probably not. Should it be funded across multiple chains that have NFTs? Yes. If ICF wants to fund the hackathon as an internal dev thing, great. all for that. You can do it, but be more transparent about this stuff, so we actually know, and we don't have to question that if we approve Prop 94, we're going to get Prop 99, which is another 200,000 from the community pool for the hackathon, right? These are the things that get people uneasy because, 2 times 200,000, maybe it's 250,000 each. That's $500,000 just to test some NFTs and check it, which, I think we got Neutron for $500,000. That's a whole new chain that's going to run on, it's going to be a consumer chain, I'm pretty sure bringing like Lido, however you want to pronounce it, to the hub and to Cosmos. So balance that up, transfer some NFTs across IBC versus an entire chain and, product and permissionless Cosmosm chain. So,
Okay.
Do you think this time? Sorry, dude. I was just going to ask Rarma if he thinks there's like Rarma over the next 7 days. Do you think there's time to have like serious, like open public debate about this, like before it goes to the point what happened with like we all know what happened with Steakfish the last time, guys? If I was to see any last minute like swings of votes here, like I think that would tarnish the whole. Like I think very over the next 3 to 4 days, some very public debates need to be done with some of the back. I mean, Rami, you mentioned some of like the players, the real players who's on the multi-sig and the judges. We need to get. I mean, I followed a couple of the people today on Twitter. Guys, can we not get them on a show? You know how nice we are. You know how reasonable we are. Like we don't care if it's like the top brass or the paid foot soldiers, right? Like we deal with anybody, but like this message, Rama, has to go out very, very distinctly and clearly in the next 3 to 4 days about this particular prop.
Let me shed some light. I can clarify a couple of things. One thing I believe, so communication-wise, what comes from the organizers and the inner chain, it's not that good. I need to tell them that because the public testnet is not only going to be for the devs. It's also there's one part where the community can also participate, and they need to communicate that.
But dude, the word's not good, right? I'm not going to fill anyone with confidence. And the word's not good when people are asking for nearly $250,000. Like you must understand, right, that probably, especially guys after the day, there will be people who's going to go back. There will be people who's going to go listening. And it's, by the way, guys, it's not about Ark. Rama made it very clear from the beginning. This is not about Ark, about the prop. It's much, much bigger than that. And there are going to have to be people, Rama, if people are going to be on multi-sigs for $250,000 of Atom community funding, Rama, they're going to have to come up and speak to people like you and I, bro. Well, you more than myself, obviously.
Oh, not even me, right? Like just be present in the community and answer questions and be around. Like I haven't been involved in this too much. I saw listening to Mayor's spaces the other day, and I went and read the prop and spoke to some people, some devs and stuff about it, and they were, of the opinion that it's probably a bit too much for an incentivized testnet for, NFT and ICS 721, which I tend to agree with, right? Like, I think it's probably.
Well, that's not the OG question. That's not the OG question. The OG question is, does it need an incentivized public in air quotation testnet itself, right? That's the question first before we talk about incentivization.
Yeah, and I think this is probably a good spaces to chat with Scotty and Mr. T, and they've been great, putting up with a bit of our banter and some questions and discussions that aren't directly related to them. But it's probably it's probably a good bridge, right? Because you guys can go back and talk to the people that you do have connections and contacts with, and be like, hey, like here's some info and here's some things to discuss, which is always good. So yeah, I want to make it very clear that you guys have been great, and you've listened and talked with us. and it's not directed at Ark at all. It's around the prop in itself.
We have also addressed a couple of concerns, and these are the ones we will definitely pass on to them. And now it's also got pretty clear for me, okay, about the public testnet and how can the community benefit from this one. And this needs to be clearly outlined by the organizers. So I will get in touch with them today, and they need to clarify that one. The other thing was Ghazni was raising also like it's only going to be for the custom wasn't based change. This is not correct. So ICS 71, it's a custom wasn't contract, but what IrisNet has is the end. They have implemented an NFT module on SDK level. So NFTs can go on any Cosmos chain.
It's the X NFT module.
Yeah, but dude, we're taglines, dude. You know, taglines only get projects like so far. Like the fact that like NFTs can go from one like IBC enabled chain to like another, you know, like it's gone like way far. I mean, just for our audience in particularly, you know, we've got some like gigabrains in this room. Like it goes far beyond that. Isn't it, Rarma? It's a little bit more. I mean, you guys, are you guys the first to market? Very quickly before we finish, Rarma, they're the first to market, right? There'll be nobody else doing interchain NFTs accessible to the public on the mainnet. Is that right? These guys the first, yeah?
I think it'll be a very close battle between you gentlemen and probably DAO to get some NFTs transferred across, right?
Oh, what?
We're still, yeah. I mean, we had our Genesis Mint on testnet. We haven't transferred NFTs cross-chain yet. That's going to be the next test. Everything is on testnet right now, just so that we can stress test, make sure everything's good. But our Genesis Mint on testnet still does have utility. It will be giving you access to future mints, of course. A little bit more exclusive access to future mints. But yeah, I mean, I would hope that there's other people trying to better the the options and the utilities of the space. And again, that kind of brings me back to the whole Prop 94, the game of NFTs, and should it be incentivized? And of course, we're not organizers of this. We're on the same side as everybody in this room, where we want to participate or we're looking at it and wondering about it. But yeah, I think that incentivizing it is necessary if you want people to participate. You gotta get, people want to feel like they're getting something. Sometimes just knowledge, but other times, they want to see, competition always brings out the best in people when it comes to them, their efforts, at least. Obviously some people in competition don't keep a smile on their face, but yeah, that's, it would be great to know that, because I don't know DAO. I'm going to have to look into that, but it'd be great to know that other projects are definitely striving to push the boundaries of NFTs and the boundaries of these blockchains.
Well, dude, sorry, is that there? Okay.
I was about to say,
Secret, we're going to wind down.
Yeah, Secret's been very patiently. So I thought we'd have to get him an opportunity to speak.
Go on, dude. Secret, you're up.
Secret of RektCity. Go on you, brother.
No. I was just going to say that competition is a very good order of reference, to see what's the good projects and the lesser good. But yeah, no, I forgot my question because it was a minute ago. I'll let you guys, and I'm finished cooking my meal. I'll get back to you later, man.
All right. If you rename again, by the way, I'm going to be very angry.
Is that it? He's come up for that. Oh my goodness. Ghazni, before we go, because I'm gonna wind down before I spin up. Okay, guys. Ghazni, what you got to say, bro?
Yeah, I wanted to know if they have some sort of Sybil resistance mechanism for testing this, because I can see a potential wherein people would deploy to farm incentives for this NFT. So do they plan to have some Sybil resistance mechanism so that bots don't get the most of the incentives?
Can you re-raise the question?
In the game of NFTs, do you have planned something to have some Sybil resistance mechanism so that people don't deploy bots to farm incentives?
So Mr. T and Scotty aren't running Game of NFTs. I think they're in contact with people who are running it. So probably a good question to ask around that. There is a form that you'll have to fill in, Ghazni, to be a participant of Game of NFTs. But yeah, it will all be like CLI based and that sort of stuff. So hopefully there's nothing in there that you can game it via scripts or anything. But yeah, a question that'll have to be a question for the hosts.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are we, Rama? Are we almost done? Are we going to wind down? I mean, we went way over the guy. I tell you what, guys, thank you. Because Rama, tell them what it's like to get someone on our show. Nobody wants to come on, so we have to say thank you very much, because very few people are since Loop, guys.
Yes, Mr. T and Scotty, just a simple question. If you can give me a simple answer, yes or no. For someone that doesn't have dev experience, can he go and do the testnet for the public now without filling up a form or something like this? Yes or no?
Are you referring to Ark Protocol, or are you referring to the game of NFTs?
The game of NFTs. Yeah,
both of them. But I was talking more about the game of NFTs.
So there will be some competition without any technical skills. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Dude, Rama, we're just about to finish, and Berserker's jumped up. Rekt Gang, I know you've come in really late, dude. We're just about to wind down. Someone's going to wind one up later. Did you have a quick question before we finish for one of the guys?
Absolutely shameless shill from Rekt Gang here. They have to get themselves into the spaces of Stinky and the Brain.
Scotty's got his hand up. Scotty's got his hand up.
Scotty, you take precedence over Rekt.
I know. Thank you. Rekt Gang, my bad. Real quick, I just wanted to say, I mean, if it's cool with the hosts, to open the floor up for any direct questions regards to Ark Protocol and our project, we'd love to field any questions or any hear any comments you guys have about our project as well. In addition to everything that we've gone over for the game of NFTs. So just wanted to, if the hosts are cool with that. Please ask questions.
Okay. I'll go. Excuse me, Berserker. When you send the NFT from the home chain to the other chain, and you sell this NFT on the other chain, so there's a system of a vault where the NFT is, and then it's burned it transfers to the buyer or something. Can you explain this a little bit in simple terms?
The burn is only done when you transfer it back. So if you sell it on the other chain, the other owner owns it, and then he can do it whatever he wants. If he sends it back, it's burned but he has it on the home chain.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Whoa! Breaking news.
Sorry, this is completely not relevant for the spaces. But I'm just alarming all of the Americans. The DYX is absolutely tanking. It's going to go below 100 very soon.
No way. Is it? It's been on the slide for a while, hasn't it?
Sorry, Rekt Gang, get in here. We'll wrap this up, and then we can get Dizzle up here too. Is for shizzle manizzle Dizzle.
Hey, thanks. Good morning. I had kids to bring to daycare. Sorry, I'm late. I was super interested about this topic. Rarma, you mentioned there's a form to fill out to participate in Game of NFTs. Is there more detail around the whole process or the logistics of it all? How is it going to work?
Yeah, let me answer that. So we are advising the organizers, and the info we got is once they have everything set up, they are going to somewhere announce this form that needs to be filled in. So it will be in February. Yeah, that's to our knowledge, and everybody can participate. Not only devs, but also everybody.
Oh, that was the thing. I asked you this question in the Stargaze chat, and it was no, it's only. I think you gave me a list of node operators and things like that. So anybody can participate.
Yeah, I passed
Yeah,
on.
if you know say a lie, yeah.
Yeah, I passed on this question. That was the answer, and after the last space, I passed it on back to them and say, hey, it sounds like only these ones, and I got questions like, can anybody participate? Can you clarify this, please? And then they said, yes, everybody can participate because there will be also other prizes where the community with no technical skills can win.
Okay, they should
And so they
definitely
really need
detail
to
that out.
communicate that.
And I guess if I can make a suggestion, this is optional again, but maybe if they hold like an NFT, that means they're a legit user or something. And, if they hold any NFT on Stargaze or Juno or Secret, whatever, that means they're a real user or a real NFT community member versus somebody. I'm afraid it gets gamed, right? Like people create new wallets and then they try to game for an airdrop, so they'll do anything. Rarma mentioned script, so I know we had a free mint on Juno. There was 20,000 mints, and you had to have a unique wallet to mint. So and I absolutely don't believe there's 20,000 minters on Juno. So
excuse me, Berserker, we can still have different NFTs on different wallets and it will look real NFTs on different wallets. So.
Yeah, well, you don't announce it. You take the snapshot, and then afterwards, hey, you have to hold an NFT on Stargaze or you have to hold an NFT on Secret, and then you're eligible to kind of do the tasks that are asked of you for testnet. I don't know. It's just an idea, right, to prevent it from being game, because I'm really, really afraid of people creating multiple laws. I'm sure they will do it. Like, I guarantee you, if there's money involved, they will game it.
Okay, yeah, I pass it on. Yeah, and also I will pass it on. They need to clarify and communicate these kind of things more open. And as Cosmos DeFi Joe says, okay, it's only for devs. It is not only for devs. It's for everybody in the community. And I pass it on. We are just advisors. We are not part of the.
Dude, don't worry about Joe. He's a bit fucking. I know what Joe's like, man. Don't worry about him. He's always fucking gripey. He's always. He doesn't become normal until about 2 p.m. No, it takes like Joe like till 2 p.m. just to be like give you like half a smile. Just don't you worry
Robo,
about Joe.
I know the good Joe only because we usually chat at like 7 p.m. my time, which is very late. He's in a good mood. He probably had a few beers in. He's like, but the morning Joe, I agree.
Oh, you don't want morning Joe. I get him every day almost. No, but guys, I mean, listen, we're going to wind this down soon because I'll spin one up myself, right? Not RAC FM. I've just got to say it, like Mr. T and Scotty, like respect where respect's due. You guys have come up, like absolutely, like just delivered your best, like literally just open, honest, not trying to hide anything. Like you can't take that away from you guys, Thank you very much for that. Like I've really enjoyed the night. Rarma, what do you think about the night? Did you enjoy it?
I did. Yeah. Again, thank you very much, gentlemen. Appreciate your time, your patience, and answering our questions. And I'm looking forward to Ark. I gotta give you guys a follow on Twitter, Ark Protocol. Looking out for what you guys are building. I'm gonna have to jump in your Discord. Another Discord server. Better than Telegram. Like another Telegram.
But I noticed. Rarma, I noticed they didn't have any like mediums or out there or anything. Like that's one of the first places like researchers as well. Like when you're researching, you do go to Medium or Substack and see like what's there. More than likely not Substack, but
that's it.
Definitely Medium's a place.
No pressure, no pressure, Scotty. You're gonna have to pump out some articles soon, mate.
Unless you need me to do it for you. Never mind.
Twitter threads. Definitely. Twitter threads. Nobody reads the mediums.
Oh, like you didn't read my source. That's right. Like Rekt Gang didn't bother reading Robo's source. Fucking Medium. Pikachu, Pikachu. Sorry, told me to put it in a thread. I'll do that. So did you as well. Zerk is like put that in thread.
I'm a fan of Medium. I read the threads. There's a lot of projects that
ask you to get your information on Medium when you go in their Discord and they say, there's a Medium article that covers all this. And I'm always happy to run over to Medium and read the article because it's just another source of information to me. I don't mind what social platform it's on most of the time, although I'm not big on Telegram. I don't like Telegram because I don't feel it's as organized as Discord. Discord, you got all the channels that can break down the information, the rooms, the purposes. I don't think Telegram has anything like that. But in general, if the information was only on Telegram and I was interested, then I would go there too. It's no problem. I'm always happy to just seek out the info. So you're right.
Medium. My medium, not my medium. The stories, the stories you follow, mine's like a fucking university, fucking my medium. When I click on there, it's like every story about everything to do with like blockchain, the fucking shebang. Like I love jumping on Medium and scrolling through the articles. It's like fucking hell.
Because I can get it to read out to me. Like if I'm busy doing something, I can just like hit the play button and it'll read it out to me while I'm like busy around doing things.
What? There's an Audible app.
Yeah. I've got it on the tablet. So guys, honest to
Excuse
God.
Excuse me, RAC FM, Rarma. Just Dizzle had a question, maybe. Just a minute.
Yeah. Dizzle.
Hey guys, not at all. I was just jumping on to hear what was going on. But thanks for the acknowledgement.
Yeah, so this one's a special
Ark Protocol?
in the brain Ark Protocol episode where we're just about to wrap up, and I think Robo's going to chuck up another spaces where you can chill and talk about the latest NFT that you just bought, Dizzle. I saw your tweet. Don't.
All right, I'll be there.
What's he buying? What's he been buying?
You got to hold
buying more
the next
fucking
spaces,
shit.
mate. A little bit of anticipation.
Tune in to
Adora.
find out.
Has he been buying Adora? Is that what he's been buying? Everybody wants Adora, don't they? Right now, look at Rarma's PFP. Who's fucking sweeping the floor? Someone bought two of mine today for ridiculous prices. I logged on, kept just to glance at
spaces, mate. Wrap it up.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, guys. Berserker, have you got anything that you want to wind down with Ark I can
just say a quick word. I think multi-chain or interchain is the future. I'm super excited about the tech. Can't wait to use it. Our whole project is built around this concept. So I'm a firm believer that this will be the way for NFTs. And I'm excited to see the use cases that come out of, kind of trying to use the tech as much as possible and push it forward. So yeah.
All right, Rekt Gang.
Cool.
I know what you're saying.
Wait a minute.
You literally just want to get your NFTs off Juno and run onto another marketplace.
So we considered Rarma. Can I answer this, Robo, real quick? So we were like, oh, should we do ICS, right? Because Ark is super exciting. And then we're like, well, then they're still in the Cosmos. That's not our mission. We just want them all on Polygon. So, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, the hexagon NFTs on Polygon are really good. I like that when you use them as your Twitter profile picture.
Sure.
All right, we're gonna keep these guys here for hours, absolutely talking shit.
Yeah. Let's move on.
There'll be a follow up spaces where we can absolutely talk shit about NFTs. I don't want to wrap you guys up for too much longer while we banter.
Thank you, Mr. T. Thank you very much, Mr. T and Mr. Scotty.
Yeah, just give them a shout out. Hey, Scotty, Mr. T, you fucking legends. You came on. You got to pass the smell test. We've got a lot of unanswered questions, but that's fine. We know where we stand now. So, guys, thank you very much. As we say in Thailand, Kopo mak na kap na. Oh, sabai, mate. Samai. Good night, Cap. Good night, fellas.
And as we say in Australia,
Night. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, gents. Appreciate having you.
Take care. This, Finn, when you are doing your recording, was a Stinky and the Brain exclusive fucking special recorded on fucking RAC FM 69.420 FM coming in your fucking ears. Get ready for the panelists show tomorrow, recorded once a week. We've got Saberstein from Space Skellies. Hopefully, we've got Berserker coming on without his Rekt Gang fucking thing that he hides behind. And he comes on as himself. And hopefully, we've got Ollie from Kudos. going to be a cracking show. Myself, Rarma, Little Gains, B-Bands and Finn as the panelists. Kicks off 8 fucking a.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time, tomorrow, Friday the 13th. Let's hope none of us die. See you in a bit, you motherfuckers. In fact, I'll see you on the other side, so I'm getting rid of RAC FM. Can't do nothing on this phone. Goodbye, you plebs. Plebtastic.
It's the Rekt show coming from the Rekt store. With this back in the Mac in the back flow. Let's go, chillin' with raccoons by the back door. Take calls so you can stake more. All I wanna do is making dough, right? But I found this crew and doing alright. We wreck, will bitch, ready to fight. So many raccoons ready for the boss life. I might fly high like a kite, right? But always ready for a shite for the right price. Raccoon supply has the right price. Giving you respect if it's likewise. So I'm buying all the mean guys with the clean heart. Read between lies, laser beam through lean eyes. Warrior with clean lies, trash mouth, mean smile, be wise. NFT wise, fuck with these guys. It's the RAC rap from the back lab. 100 NFTs in my backpack. Crazy RAC rap from the stash app. Rack will taking lead in this haystack. It's the RAC rap from the back lab. 100 NFTs in my backpack. Crazy RAC back from the stash app. Rack will taking lead in this haystack. Blast that RAC rap from the stash app. Supplying the raccoons with a headbang rap. Rekt Gang with the rack will slang like a trash can. Hoodie with fangs and a gold chain. It's either rack will or the red pill. Best chill while we get into the first meal. Best feel, best devs with the best skill. No shill, all real, secret is a great deal. Rack will insane, Shane better stand fast. Robo shooting his tweets with straight facts. Knowledge from the street, with the best plan yet. Winston gotta eat if you retweet that. Free alpha life feed from the base camp. McKenna always ready if you dare that. Buying all raccoons for his rare stash. Trash panda biker gang, motherfucking hashtag. It's the RAC rap from the back lab. 100 NFTs in my backpack. Crazy RAC rap from the stash app. Rack will taking lead in this haystack. It's the RAC rap from the back lab. 100 NFTs in my backpack. Crazy RAC back from the stash app. Rack will taking lead in this haystack.
Plebtastic.